Now that you know how to spot an illegal non-compete in your employment agreement, what do you do when you actually find one? So let's say you're still in the job offer negotiation stage. If I were you, I wouldn't even bring it up because it's already in the bag, right? Like if it's illegal and doesn't apply to you, why waste your bargaining power negotiating that out? It's better to negotiate things that can bring value right away to your agreement, like better salary, better vacation pay, or maybe amend the notice period in your termination clause, especially if you're being recruited away from secure employment. And bringing up like an illegal non-compete at that stage when you know it's illegal is probably going to create some tension anyway, and you don't really want that at the start of your employment relationship. Okay, so let's say that you're actually approaching the end of your employment and you're thinking of going to a different competitive employer, and you notice this non-compete that is probably illegal in your contract. Well, I would recommend you talk to a lawyer at that point because you want to make sure that it definitely is non-enforceable before you go work for a competitor, because if it's actually enforceable, then the employer could come after you with an injunction and you'd be on the hook for legal fees, plus you'd PO your future employer that you can't go work for anymore, and you'd burn a bridge with your former employer that you have to litigate with. So it could get really messy if you actually have an enforceable non-compete. Now, let's say that you do go get legal advice and the lawyer says, no, you're good, it's definitely not enforceable. Well, you have a couple options. Like one is that you could just go straight to work to the other competitor, but you'd still risk your former employer coming after you in court under the misapprehension that it is enforceable. And going through a legal battle, even though you're ultimately right, still isn't great because you have to go through the time and expense of getting a lawyer and fighting it. So depending on your circumstances, it might still be a good idea to go to your former employer and just have a good faith, candid conversation with them about the fact that you found a job with a competitor, you've noticed that the non-compete really isn't enforceable, and tell them your story about why you want to go work there. Like it might be that the employer ultimately doesn't care because it doesn't affect them that much. And ultimately, like I've said many times, attaching a reason to your ask, giving a compelling story will increase your chances of getting a yes.